Hey you guys, we're just going to jump right into this look that I created with some of the Fenty products that I have. We're going to start off with the Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm going to use the transition shade Raw Sienna. I'm going to go over my eyelids, come down a little bit. As you can tell, my eyebrows have already been done, and I've already primed my lids with the Tarte Shape Tape in light medium, and I'm being interrupted by a little person at the moment. Please ignore him, unlike I'm able to do. Well, there that goes. Welcome to being Jackson's mom. I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate that eyeshadow on the other eyelid. Gonna get it in and buff it in using the windshield wiper motion. This is with the Sephora Pro Tapered Crease brush. It's my top 3 favorite brushes that I usually do my eyeshadow with. I almost always use for transition color when you're trying to spread a big amount of product onto your eyelid, like a transition shade. So as you can tell, I got my hat back. I had to fight a little bit for it, but we got it back. We can't mess up the vibe. From here, I'm going to continue to clean up clean up and blend out my transition up into the brow line area, just to give like a really smooth kind of color. I never notice how much my mouth moves when I'm thinking, but I am thinking. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. blending brush and pick up a shade on the Tarte High Performance palette. I got this palette from Lipstick and Legs. She's a fellow YouTuber and someone I follow on Twitter. I love her videos. I'm gonna shout her out. So, hey girl! I'm gonna use my e.l.f. blending brush to put that into the outer corners of my eyes and use like a V kind of motion to make sure that I get like the darker. It's a little darker and it also has a little shimmer to it. Just very little shimmer, not a lot of shimmer, but just kind of create like a smoky look with a little bit of a darker shade. Like I said, I was going for something fairly simple, not too extravagant for this Christmas Day look. We didn't do much. We went to visit my mom and I got a new camera, as you guys can tell, so I needed to play around for a little bit, making sure that that's even on both sides. Gotta look and look and look, and then clean it up a little bit. Both sides, make sure that that's even, and I think we're good. I'm going to use this color. I've had this color for years and I have no clue where I got it from, but I've had it forever. I'm going to pat it on with my Glamour Dolls blending brush. This is another brush that I really, really love and enjoy using. I'm just going to put a little bit of that gold. It's similar to, if I had to compare it to something, maybe the MAC Pigment Melon. It looks a little pink in the container, and it goes on like a really pretty gold color that I got from my friend Chanel for a birthday one year. And this one is very similar to that, just in shade. So if you're looking for something that's a pretty gold, like glittery kind of color, but not thick glitter or heavy glitter, this is a good option. Or I'm pretty sure any of the MAC pigments would be a good option for that. Some of the shimmery colors. Just going to blend that in and buff that in really gently. Now I'm going to move on to my face. I'm going to start off with the NYX Pore Filler. I'm just going to apply this right where I have really pronounced pores, which is right below my eyes, like where my concealer would go, in between my nose. Not in between, but my nose is in the middle of that same area. So I'll rub that in and massage that in to kind of put it into my pores. Then I'm going to apply my foundation, the Bare Minerals Bare Pro in Cardamon. I'm going to use my Luxie 660 Precision Foundation brush to apply this with and get it evenly and smooth all across my face. Get that all smoothed in here. Make sure that you're getting in all the creases. I try to apply with some pressure so that way the product goes down into the fine lines and wrinkles of my skin. It's not hard to tell that I have, some aged skin. My forehead, I have, frown lines in the top of my forehead and around the creases of my mouth, under my eyes. So I put a little pressure into the foundation when I'm putting that on, so that way it can fill those spaces and go on really smoothly. I'm also going to follow this up with my beauty blender, and I'm going to smash it in really good with the beauty blender. You can also put a little bit of foundation on the end of your beauty blender. And this one has like a flat end. I'm not really sure. I don't remember where this one came from, but it's really good. I'm just kind of press it in, like I said, to kind of fill some of those pores, fill some of those holes. And it gives a really flawless finished look, in my opinion, and just in my own skin. A lot of people say, oh, your makeup looks flawless. And I think this is a step that creates that nice, really nice finish, in addition to like spraying it down after you set it with your setting powder. So this is, something that I do and I have learned to perfect when I'm putting on my makeup. I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape in light honey or light medium honey, which is really light. I'm considering going down a shade, like getting a darker shade, because it is really, really bright. So I always have like a super beat like look, even when I'm not intending it, only because this is so much brighter than my own skin. So I'm just going to apply that right under my eyes. I'm going to bring it down to the sides of my nose, and then up the middle of my nose, down in my cupid's bow, and a little bit up into my forehead, just to kind of give that light kissed look onto your face. I'm going to use my Sephora Pro Concealer brush to just kind of pat this in, similar to how I did my foundation. I don't want to drag it out too much. This stuff is pretty thick and it can kind of get everywhere if you're not careful. So I've learned to pat it in right where it is instead of like rubbing and buffing. Except for the edges, I'll buff out the edges, but I'm very small, clean strokes. So like I said, it's not going everywhere, because you'll end up, half of your face will be white and you'll look like Morticia Addams all the time. Morticia's beautiful, but you know how she has that like light is shining in my eyes look all the time. And I don't want to have that look. Not an Addams. So I'm going to make sure that I'm blending that out the best that I can. And just like I did my foundation, I'm going to start with my brush and get all of my major blending in. And then I'll follow through with my beauty sponge and just buff it up and clean it up a little bit. I forgot to show you guys what brush this was. It is the Airbrush Concealer brush from Sephora. It's a really good brush, in my opinion, for applying concealer and putting concealer on. I'm going to go back in with the other end of my beauty sponge and just buff that in. Make sure I get it all buffed in. So see, look at the difference in how it was before we started buffing in. It's still all in one place, but we didn't get it all over the place. which was the look that I was going for. I'm going to follow this up with the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores finishing powder. I received this from Ipsy, and it is really white in the pan, but when I used my Sonia Kashuk brush, I got this brush from Target, and I like the way that it applies the setting powder. It has really fine bristles, and they move very fluidly, and I think it just gives a really good finish to the powder, the setting powder. Some folks can put on setting powder with a blending sponge or a beauty sponge, and I just can't get that that down at all. So this is my tool of preference when applying. Alright, we're going to start our contour with the Sephora Bright Future Concealer in shade Chocolate Souffle. I prefer this particular product because it's really thin and it blends out really, really well. So I like to use this as opposed to another contour product, or like I don't have any contour palettes or anything like that. This is just what I prefer to use. I'm just going to put a few dots in my contour area right below my cheekbone, right above my hairline, or right below my hairline rather, and at my jawline to create some shadow and bring in a little space. I'm going to use the Real Techniques contour brush. I hadn't used Real Techniques brushes before, and the last couple of times I did my makeup I used them, and I really like them. I see a lot of people use them. So that was what made me get them, and they were on sale at Kohl's. So I picked up a pack of like the face brushes. So I got the contour brush, I got the buffing brush, and a detailer brush, which I think I'll probably use for like cut crease or something like that. It surprised me that they kind of look heavy, but they're not. They're really, really light in weight. But I do like the way that they buff out this particular product. And the other, I use it for like my setting powder, for my face setting powder. So it is something that, like I said, I'm kind of new to, but so far so good. I really like the results that I get with using this brush. So if you're looking for something a little more cost effective, this may be a way to go. I'm pretty sure you can get them at TJ Maxx as well. I think I've seen them in TJ Maxx too. So I'm gonna go through and blend out all of my lines, get them real smooth, and put in some more product to where I get a really nice shadow from the blending. Get that blend it out a little bit more, get all my space, and make sure all my lines are pretty clean. I'm just going to follow it up with my beauty sponge and make sure all my lines are clean again. From here, I'm going to, I don't want to call it setting. This is a Reviva Labs setting spray, or Rosewater spray, and it just gives, like, after I put all of my powder stuff on, it just gives a really nice look. Now I'm going to go in with the NYX Set It and Don't Fret It powder with the Real Techniques buffing brush, and set all of my foundation and everything that's on my face. Right now I'm just going to put it on and then tap it off and then buff it all in. to go in with my Makeup Revolution Ultra Blush Palette. I picked this up for a few bucks at Ulta. I'm going to use my AVON Blush brush to apply it right above my contour, right below my cheekbone. And I'm going to use some pretty wide strokes. It has quite a bit of shimmer to it, so you could definitely use it as highlighter if you wanted to, but this was a Fenty look for me, so I wanted to use a trophy wipe, so it's not going to be my highlighter. Now I'm gonna clean up my eyebrows and set my eyebrows with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel in Clear. I like this particular step because it holds my eyebrows down, and I wait until almost the end to do it, because if I don't, then I'll get product all in my eyelashes, or excuse me, my eyebrows, which I don't really want to do. I'm gonna go in with the Fenty Kilowatt Eye Highlighter in Trophy Wipe, and use my Luxie Tapered highlighting brush, and gently with a very light hand apply this highlighter. This highlighter is a really pretty color, but just like logistically it's not all that fun. It sits into your pores and it kind of makes your skin look cakey or clumpy. It's good for dramatic looks. It's not something I would suggest doing on a day-to-day basis. It's very pretty, and like I said, it's very glittery, shimmery, so you have to be careful when you're applying it. You don't want to go in with a heavy hand. I'm going to start with my eyeliner, and I'm going to use the Marc Jacobs gel liner in black. I received this as a sample from Sephora. I think they use some of the points, and it comes with like a sample pack a couple of months ago, and it goes on really smooth. Both eyes. And now we're going to do the mascara. This is Benefit Cosmetics Their Real Mascara. This is my favorite mascara only because I hate mascara, and this one does really good. It has a really thin applicator, similar to the Lash Stiletto by Maybelline applicator. That was one of my favorites. And I'm just going to apply that to give my eyelashes some shape and definition prior to putting on my lashes. I'm going to apply the Cosmania Lashes for Days in High Drama. I got these from TJ Maxx for like $8, and I think it's a pack of 4 or 5. I really like these lashes. They're really fun and really cool style. So I'm going to apply that with my tweezers and my Broadway Dark eyelash glue. And to wrap my whole look up, I'm going to use the Fenty Stunna lipstick in the Uncensored shade. Such a popular lipstick. Sometimes it's different on me depending on what the rest of my face looks like. Sometimes it's a really bright orangey red, and sometimes it's a really like dark blue red. This look, I ended up with kind of the bluish red tone this time, and I didn't want to like it as much as I did, but I do. So shout out to you, Rihanna, and your Fenty collection. Very, very nice collection. And I'm gonna finish up this look, gonna get it all applied, and we are finished. Thank you guys so much for watching. Put any comments, questions in the comment box, and I'm sorry for the crazy quality. I think I had to adjust some of my filming speeds, and we'll look forward to improvements in my videos going forward. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you being here. Bye!